So the other day, you may have seen a video on the news or social media of a horse bucking and running a bit without a driver. So, as usual, I guess I'll update you guys. I wasn't there myself, but I have spoken with the driver. The horse, as I've mentioned before, most of our incidents happen with newer horses. They have not yet reached a point where they're in a full partnership with their driver, where they really trust them, so that will override any instinct that a horse may have to run or spook or something. And so that is why you often see new horses new to the industry having some incidents. We don't know their background and their health background and all of that. And it's all, things that you learn in time and that you develop, working with the horse over time. We always have horses, obviously, without customers in the beginning of their training. And whether it's a few weeks or however long, a few months, at the point that a horse seems to be doing well, you do start taking customers once they're licensed with the city, and that training process continues. That training process really can take up to a year, maybe more, depending how much you're talking about perfecting it. The initial training process is usually a couple weeks, and there's different stages, a couple months, and so on, of where that horse is at in their training. But there are periods you can usually still safely take customers before that full year. And in this case, this horse had been doing pretty well and had moved up to the taking customers stage. But just as an extra precaution, this horse still had two drivers on the carriage. So that one can go to the horse's head to direct traffic or, keep the horse calm while the other driver is driving. So in this case, they were fully prepared to, take this horse out, as they have a bunch of times now. And they probably would have been okay if we had park workers, New York City Parks Department workers, safely operating in the park and following the laws that exist of how to drive around a horse. What happened was there was a New York City Parks Department garbage truck who did not keep a safe distance from this horse, as is legally required to. And the truck actually came so close to the horse, the carriage driver thought that he had hit the carriage because the rumbling from the truck was so loud they could feel it. That is way too close. There's an orange triangle on the back of our carriage. That means you keep 15 feet back at least. Means slow moving vehicle and caution. And when you pass a horse, you pass wide and slow. This truck did not do that. The driver says that he feels this was intentional. I think he's going to talk to a lawyer and, pursue legal action. But that's on him. I can't comment to what he's doing and, what comments he makes about it. I think he should, but, So when this truck did not come within a safe distance, whether he did intentionally or not, I don't know. Maybe he was just stupid, or maybe he didn't know what he was doing, and maybe the Central Park Conservancy paid him off. I have no idea. It's all possible, because it's very strange timing. We don't have incidents like this very often at all. Like every, 10, 15 years, something like that usually happens. And now you've had a couple all of a sudden. Something's fishy there. All of a sudden, when the park starts saying, they want to push you out and, talking about all this safety, ignoring actual safety issues that they've had so many complaints about, ignoring ways that we've said they can improve our safety, they've just made it worse and worse. Very strange timing. So, the horse was startled by this truck, and the one driver on the ground didn't feel like he could fully get the horse back under control. So the driver got off the carriage to also try to handle that situation from the ground. And then the horse decided to run instead. So the driver shouted to his customer to ask them to leap out because he wanted to make sure that they were out. And he then was able to catch up to his horse at Bethesda Terrace and, unharnessed his horse and everything. And a trailer came and took the horse back. There were no injuries. No one was injured. It's good. The horse was not injured. The horse is good, being seen by a vet per protocol. The only damage that was done was a stop sign in the park that was newly put up. It's actually the anti-e-bike people hate it because they think there should be a traffic light, a red light, kind of traffic light in the park there instead, which there was, and they just kind of threw a bag over it, and they were like, no, instead it's a stop sign. So I wonder if they'll be happy about this in a way. So that was damaged by the carriage when the horse ran. Which I think the driver really wants the Parks Department garbage truck company to be responsible for because they caused this incident. I don't know what's going to happen with that though. No clue. There's been a lot of misinformation going out there. In the video, you can see the lunchbox of the driver come off the carriage, and a woman is saying that it was a baby that came off. There was no baby on the carriage. No one was injured. The customers, hopefully they do speak out. They seem like they would be on our side, understanding that, the truck caused this to happen. I don't know that they'll want to go public, but we've been trying to reach them. And yeah, that's basically what happened. And then other than that, we go about as business as usual because there's, I don't, that's nothing to do with me and my carriage, accidents can happen. They do sometimes. They are still rare. Statistically, they're still rare. And, you just go on. I mean, how many car accidents are there a day? Are you gonna, ban cars now? So it's kind of ridiculous, but gets so blown up in the news. But that's what it is. That's what we deal with. Interestingly today, I was thinking about putting a poster on my carriage to kind of attack the overpaid CEO of the Central Park Conservancy, which we have spoken about in here, who is trying to push me and my horse out of our home here so that she can make more space for these e-bicycles that are dangerous and speeding, that everybody else hates because they've pretty much bought the park. They've paid her off. I really hope some journalists out there will really do some investigative journalism, get some FOIL reports, and actually somehow show where this money came from. But we know that it's from these people because the person that ran the Park Drive study was a member of New York class, big supporter. And he's a big e-bicycle guy. And it was funny how the study was run. People were very upset about the bicycles, and they've decided to expand for the bicycles. It doesn't really make much sense, except that you realize there is corruption when you hear something like that. So obviously, they paid a lot of money to have the park cater to them, abandoning their mission of preserving the history of the park. So I was going to put some kind of poster on my carriage and protest about that. I still might, do have to work on it, but today would have been perfect to have it because Betsy Smith, the CEO of the Central Park Conservancy, who's paid almost $1 million a year, wants to kick us working class out. She was in one of the little Conservancy golf carts taking around the speaker of the New York City Council today. I guess trying to buy her off. We'll see if it works. She chose a day when kids are back at school and the park is very, very, very quiet so that the speaker couldn't see how terrible her drive redesign really is. And she's going to try to get her on board with taking a stance against us, even though obviously that is not a danger in the park. So we'll see where this goes. Hopefully everyone finally gives us a meeting with them too, or we really know the corruption's gotten that bad.